For latest astrology videos, subscribe AstroEdify channel and press this bell icon to get notified when a new video goes live. Hello everybody, welcome to AstroEdify. This is our third part today in astrology basic series where we are going to discuss what are the specific exaltation and debilitation and Mulatrikona zodiac signs for each and every planet, and what is the reason that why those specific zodiac signs are only allotted to the particular planet for being in exaltation or debilitation or Mulatrikona. So that we are going to see today. In the past two videos, I have already discussed that what is the Kal Purush Kundali, how the creation manifests as per the astrological concept, and how the zodiac signs are seen, how houses are seen, how to calculate that, and what are the types of houses, what are the types of zodiac signs that I have discussed all together. If you have not watched that, you can watch that in the playlist of the channel, the card in the card section. Also the link is shown of those videos. So because it is necessary to understand those basics first, as the conditions or the reasons which we are going to discuss today, they will have a lot of deeper connection with the past two videos, particularly the first one. So we are going to talk about the types of zodiac signs for exaltation and debilitation for planets. So let's start this video. If you want to book a consultation for yourself, you can go on this website. The link is given in the description. So we are going to talk about the zodiac signs of exaltation, debilitation and Mulatrikona for each and every planet. As you are seeing on your screen right now, this is the table which is showing each and every zodiac sign. First of all, planets are listed out here. Then the ruler sign, what is their own zodiac sign. I have discussed this in the first part of this of the astrology basic series also, that each and every zodiac sign is controlled by some planet. So here Sun controls Leo, Moon is the lord of Cancer, Mars controls two signs, Aries and Scorpio, Mercury is Gemini and Virgo, Jupiter is Sagittarius and Pisces, Venus is Taurus and Libra, Saturn is Capricorn, Aquarius, Rahu is Aquarius and Ketu is Scorpio. So these are the zodiac signs which are the own signs of these planets. Now the main focus today is exaltation. So you can see here that Sun is exalted in Aries. I have mentioned the degrees also specifically, but why it is exalted in Aries only? The reason is simple, because in the first video where I have explained the Mulatrikona, sorry, not the Mulatrikona, mainly the Kal Purush Kundali, where I have explained in detail that how the creation starts. Sun is the personified version or the symbolic representation of the pure, infinite, non-dual existence, consciousness and bliss. And that pure, infinite, non-dual, pure existence, consciousness, bliss at the time of creation manifest itself through its Vimarsha Shakti, means through its power of creation, into a specific individual subject. So that pure, non-dual, infinite, pure existence, consciousness, bliss is converting into a finite subject which is of the form of finite representation of that pure existence, consciousness and bliss. So the difference only is that it was the creation started from the infinite version, and it later on converted into a finite representation which we call as Purusha. Purusha means the subject, the individual subject which has been created now after the creation. That if you do not understand these things, see the first video, I explained that there in detail. Now Sun is the representation of that, and without Sun, without this pure existence, consciousness, bliss, creation is impossible. So Sun provides that ground. It is the changeless principle behind the ever changing thing. So it provides the ground for creation to the Shakti to create the Maya. And the second thing is that Sun also is the controller of our true ego. Ego means not your pride. Ego means your true identity. So our true identity is of the form of Atma, or the soul, or the light which you call. So the thing here is that Sun is the controller of that. It represents, it symbolizes the Atma within us. So what is our true nature? The absolute reality, your true ego is of Atma, not this body-mind complex. If you will introspect in detail, you will reach to a situation where everything else will vanish away. Only one thing will remain, that will be your own soul, your Atma, which we call it as Atma. So my true ego is of the nature of the pure existence, consciousness and bliss, known as Atma in a finite version. When I am associated with the Purusha, means I am associating with a subject. So Sun is the controller of that. Without Sun, this creation and this transformation of the infinity into the finite subject is impossible. So Sun is the light behind the creation, or the consciousness behind the creation. So this is the major reason that it is exalted in the first house, in the Aries zodiac sign, where from the fifth house the creation has started and it finally culminated into a Purusha, means the pure subject, which has now been born in this world, or the creation has started. So Sun is exalted there. This is the reason. Second thing is Moon. Moon is exalted in Taurus. The reason is Moon is the Chitta Shakti. So Sun is the pure consciousness, and Moon is the energy behind the creation. So Moon, I have explained this in the first video also, that it represents the Vimarsha Shakti. It is the I consciousness, that the consciousness is aware of its own self. That is known as Vimarsha. So Moon is responsible for the creation. Sun provides the platform for creation. Moon is responsible for the creation process. So Taurus is that zodiac sign where the maximum creation of the material world is possible. So when I say material world, it does not only mean this world where we are living. It means entire creation, all the universes, multiple creations existing, which we know of, which we don't know of. Everything which exists, that is personified. Moon is the personified representation of that. So Moon is exalted in Taurus because it is the main sign for the creation itself. So without that, Moon cannot create in its peak capacity. So Moon is exalted in Taurus. Then after that, Mars is exalted in Capricorn. And one thing which you have to notice here is that Capricorn is the zodiac sign of Saturn, and you can see in the list here that Saturn is the enemy of Mars. Now, what is the reason that Mars is exalted in its enemy's sign? Now, the reason is simple. See that in the first part I have already discussed that in Kal Purush Kundali, Mars is the lord of the first house. Mars is the representation of the individual subject which has now been created. It is the representation of the Purusha along with the Sun. So Mars now means the individual subject which has been born. Once you have been born into the world, you have to perform actions. Mars and Saturn both are the controllers of the action. Means they control our actions as well as consequences. They are known as karma karak planets. So planets which are responsible for doing the action. So Mars is the energy required to do the actions, and Saturn is the process of doing the actions. So the thing here is that Mars and Saturn together control the karma yoga. Karma yoga means a path of action where the person is fulfilling his or her duty without caring about the results. So the thing here is that Mars and Saturn do not care about the results which they are going to get. They only care about their own duty, responsibility, and their actions which they are bound to do. So Mars feel exalted in Capricorn because Capricorn is the natural zodiac sign of the 10th house, and 10th house is the house of actions. It is the karma sthan. So Mars performs the highest actions there, where, and highest action, by highest action I mean The action where the person is not attached to the result of that action. Whether you get the thing which you desired or whether you do not get what you desired, your only sole focus is on the action itself, nothing else. So Mars does not care about the result, does not care about the fruit of the action. Mars is the only controller, and Saturn also only controller of the action itself. They do not have any attachment with the result whatsoever, and that is known as the Karma Yoga, the highest form of action which is possible while living in this world. And one more thing, since Mars is action oriented planet and it is the natural symbolic representation of the Purusha or the subject which has been created, you can never escape the action until you die. No matter what you do, even if you are the laziest person, does not do anything in this world, still even taking the breath also is performing an action. So it means until and unless you are alive, you cannot escape the karmic cycle or the karma chakra. So action cycle is never going to be escaped. So Mars feels exalted in Capricorn because of this. Fourth is Mercury. Now Mercury is exalted in its own sign, Virgo. Now in the first video I've already explained, Virgo is Mercury is the symbolic representation or the personified version of the division or in the consciousness. So I have explained in the first part that it shows the aham vimarsha, I experience, then aham idam vimarsha, I am this experience, then idam aham vimarsha, this am I experience. So this is a gradual disintegration into the pure consciousness at the time of creation because of the origination of the thought. So this gradual disintegration which is bringing that non-dual pure existence and into leading to its division to create this whole world, this whole material realm, that thing, that division in thought is controlled by Mercury. So Mercury is exalted in Virgo. And also another reason why this is exalted is Virgo and Mercury both control our sensory system. So all the senses in our body, 5 senses, then 5 motor organs are there, 5 tanmatras are there, then chit, ahankar, buddhi, they means intellect, ego and mind are there. So they all together are responsible for giving us consciousness of the material world. If your sensory system does not exist or it fails at this current moment, you will not have any kind of awareness of the material world at all. So Mercury is the reason that you are aware of the material world around you. If you don't have that sensory system, there is no awareness of the material realm at all. So that is another reason that why it is exalted in Virgo. Second, after that is Jupiter. Jupiter is exalted in Cancer. Now it is also simple because Cancer is a natural 4th house zodiac sign and is controlled by Moon. Now Moon and Cancer in 4th house, they control our mind, emotions, feelings, mainly our mind. And mind is the reason that we are trapped in this world, because mind associates with the ignorance. We forget our real nature, who we are. And why do we do that? Because our mind is in ignorance, ajnana. So we do not know what our true nature is, and we think that we are this body-mind complex living in this earth, having some kind of notions about us which are really vague as well as untrue. So the thing here is that Jupiter is the planet of the jnana, means the pure absolute self-knowledge. That is Jupiter. So Jupiter leads to highest state of sthit pragyata. Sthit pragyata means one which is established in wisdom of oneness. The one who is established in wisdom of oneness, that is the highest peak result of the Jupiter. So why it is important? Because who has to associate with the knowledge? Who has to establish oneself in that wisdom? Your mind. Because mind is in ignorance. Mind is the reason that you are trapped and you think that you are suffering in this world. So Jupiter gives you that knowledge first, that who you really are. After that, once you know that who you really are, then you establish yourself in that particular identity, and now what is happening? You are established in this wisdom of oneness, which we call as sthit pragyata. So that is the highest result of Jupiter in Cancer. So this is the most important reason why Jupiter feels exalted in Cancer here. And then Venus is exalted in Pisces. And this is also a very interesting point, because Venus is the planet responsible for entire creation, the Maya around you, the material world. But it is exalted in a sign which shows dissolution, which shows spirituality, which shows no connection with the material world whatsoever. It rather shows complete detachment and rejection of Maya. So why Venus is exalted in Pisces? Because the major reason is that Venus is also the controller and significator of supreme bliss, supreme eternal bliss, which is not possible from the Maya, means the world around you. No matter how successful you become, no matter how many things you attain, you will not be content and permanently satisfied with the things which are present in this material world. And the reason is simple, because the material world consists of objects, and the object can never give you permanent satisfaction or permanent happiness. The only thing which can give you that permanent happiness is you yourself. Association with the subject, not the object. And who is the subject? You are the subject. So Pisces means I am prevailing in this world, but yet I know that who I really am. And now for me, this whole world is a divine play, Leela. So now I do not associate with this world in the form of suffering like normal people do. For me, now it is just a game. It's a play. It's a divine Leela, nothing else. So now this world, which was the cause of suffering for me, now it becomes the cause of extreme happiness and bliss. It is the highest result which Venus can give. Of course, it is extremely, what you can say, rare, or rarest of the rare thing to find in humans. But it is possible, and it has been seen in many revered saints, of course. But why it is manifesting? Venus in Pisces. Best example, Swami Ramakrishna Paramahansa. He had Venus in Pisces. So his life is the perfect example of Venus in Pisces, who never associated with this material world as a normal human being, and never associated with the body-mind complex. So that is the highest result of Venus, supreme bliss. That is why Venus is exalted in Pisces. Then Saturn is exalted in Libra. Now the reason is that Saturn is our limitations, our boundaries. Saturn is everything which restricts us and forces us to stay in some particular order, some particular structure, and organizes us in a particular form. That is what Saturn does. So Libra is that zodiac sign where Saturn feels exalted, because who was the first zodiac sign? Sun is exalted in Aries, Saturn is exalted in Libra. So first house is the Purusha. Purusha means you, the subject. And Saturn is exalted in 7th house. 7th house is Prakriti, the object. So first house is subjective manifestation of the absolute consciousness, and 7th house is the objective manifestation of the absolute consciousness. And when I say objective manifestation, it means the world around you which is filled with objects. So it restricts you. It restricts you in order to, what you can say, in order to stay here or sustain in this world. Another point here is that Saturn is also means the Libra zodiac sign, not Saturn, but mainly Libra. Libra also shows the sustenance of the Maya. Means once the creation has happened from Taurus, moon in Taurus has given the creation. Now that creation has to preserve, and that has to sustain, and that has to evolve over a period of time. So that is seen from Libra. And Saturn here is exalted because Libra is the sustenance of the Maya through law and order. Some particular some particular code of conduct, some particular civilized society. So 7th house is the society, 7th house is the civilization. Libra represents that. If there is no civilization, if there is no culture, if there is no morality, no law, no order, no authority, then what will happen? There will be pure anarchy. There will be no existence of humanity at all. And what will stay or exist will be animals. So the thing here is that the culture, the civilization forces us to stay humans. Otherwise, if there is anarchy, if the collapse of civilization happens at this very moment, humans will turn into animals in a speck of time. So the thing here is that Saturn is that main controller which is forcing us to stay in particular boundaries and follow a moral code of conduct and stay in civilization, so that we can express ourselves in the highest manifestation of creation, in order to say, because the highest manifestation is not animalistic in nature. Highest manifestation of consciousness is in human beings, not the animals. So what makes the difference here is that between us and the animals is our ability to do the things which we are capable of, all the negative things which we are capable of to do, but yet we choose not to do. That is what makes us humans. So that is Saturn in Libra, exalted. After that, Rahu is exalted in Taurus. Some people have contradiction here. They believe Rahu is exalted in Gemini. It is wrong, completely wrong. And same thing with Ketu. Ketu is exalted in Sagittarius. That is also wrong. Rahu and Ketu are exalted in Taurus and Scorpio. I have made a detailed video. 2 videos I have made. One, what are Rahu and Ketu? What do they signify? What is their impact? And second, Rahu and Ketu in Taurus and Scorpio zodiac sign, where I have explained in both these videos that why Rahu and Ketu are exalted in Taurus and Scorpio, not in Gemini and Sagittarius. So, and the simple reason is Rahu is illusion, delusion, anything which you see which is not true, the temptation. So Taurus is, and Rahu is Ajnana, the main reason for ignorance. So how ignorance is prevailing in coming into existence? Because of the material world, because of the Maya. And who creates? Taurus creates. Gemini does not create. Gemini helps in creation, but it does not create. Same thing, Ketu. Ketu is the planet which has no association with creation at all. It is the controller of death and controller of staying in the absolute reality. It does not show creation at all. So who is responsible? Scorpio is responsible for that annihilation and absolute reality, not Sagittarius. So remember here and see the 2 videos which I have where I have explained there. They are mentioned in the card section also. Now we will talk about debilitation. Sun is debilitated in Libra. The reason is simple, because Sun was exalted when it was associated as the subject, pure subject. And who is the subject? You. Now see, the worst case situation, when you forget your true nature and you do not know who you are and you associate yourself with the object, that is the worst situation for the Sun. And Sun means your identity, your ego. So when you identify with the objective universe or the objective world around you, when you forget that you are the subject, that is the worst situation. So Sun feels debilitated in Libra. It becomes weak in Libra, because Libra is the 7th house. Libra is the objective manifestation of the absolute reality. So it is the Prakriti, it is the Maya around you, it is the objective world. And Sun is the subjective, Purusha. So it feels debilitated there. Now the thing here after that, Moon is debilitated in Scorpio. Reason is simple, because Scorpio is dissolution of the universe. Scorpio is death. Scorpio is going back to the seed form. Scorpio does not create ever, and Moon has only one nature, to create and create, nothing else. So Moon feels exalted in Taurus, which is the pinnacle of creation. And what is Scorpio? The total opposite of creation. That is, Scorpio is pure destruction. It never creates at all. So moon feels completely debilitated there, because in Scorpio, moon will never be creating anything. Now Mars is debilitated in Cancer. Reason is simple, because Cancer is the natural zodiac sign of the fourth house. Moon controls this. So Cancer controls your emotions and feelings and mind. And remember what I explained in Mars Capricorn. I explained that Mars never cares about the results or fruits of the actions. It only cares about the action itself. But since it is in Cancer, Cancer is Cancer controls your mind. It shows your mind, and mind always care about the fruit of the actions. Mind never ever cares about the action or the process of the action itself. It has no interest in it. Mind always has desires, and desires always are based on the fruit of the actions, not the actions themselves. So Mars feels totally lost here, because now Mars feels confused that why I am doing the actions. Second thing, if I am doing the actions, if I am not going to get the desired result what I crave, why should I do the action in the first place? So Mars loses its power. It becomes weak. And if Mars is weak, what will happen? The energy to perform the actions won't be there. Willpower will be less. Stamina will be less. Dedication won't be there. And you feel lost and confused. So Mars in Cancer means that the planet who never bothered about the fruit of the actions, only cared about the results, only cared about the process of the actions in the first place, is now forced or placed in such a situation where he does not know what to perform. So Mars is debilitated in Cancer. It is associating with the mind. Now the Mercury is debilitated in Pisces. It is simple, because Pisces is the awareness of the spiritual world. Mercury is the awareness of the material world. Mercury, I explained, it gives you the awareness of the material world around you. But Pisces does not control the material world. It is your pure absolute reality. It shows dissolution of the universe. So Mercury is a planet which cannot think about think beyond logic. Mercury cannot go beyond logic, beyond intellect, beyond reason, beyond calculation and analysis. Mercury has no quality of abstractness at all. So Mercury in Pisces lacks intuition, lacks spontaneity, lacks abstractness, lacks imagination, due to which what happens that it feels totally lost. It does not know where the hell it is. So Mercury is completely debilitated in Pisces. The reason is it is the spiritual realm, and Virgo is material realm, and the planet which is responsible for bringing material consciousness is forced to stay in a zodiac sign which shows the awareness of the spiritual world, and Mercury has no clue about it whatsoever. So that is the point. Next thing, Jupiter feels debilitated in Capricorn. However, see, Jupiter can perform quite well in Capricorn. It's not always the bad case, but the problem here is that Capricorn, actually in Capricorn is a material sign. It is a earthy sign. So Jupiter, which is a planet of highest self-knowledge, and its sole focus is to achieve sthit pragyata, as I mentioned, to establish in that wisdom of oneness, that you call it as Atma Bodha or self-realization. In Capricorn, Jupiter can learn the material knowledge as much as possible, but the main motive or objective of Jupiter is lost here. That main motive or objective is to know your own self, not the world around you. And Capricorn is the world where you live. So Jupiter can give you the material knowledge to function in this world, but it does not have any kind of hope or recourse in Capricorn to move towards the pursuit of the self-knowledge and the Atma Bodha or the self-realization. Hence, it feels completely debilitated, that its purpose is lost. That's why it is debilitated in Capricorn. Then Venus is debilitated in Virgo. It's like putting an artist into a scientific laboratory, because Venus is pure art, beauty, imagination, creativity, and at the same time Venus also represents the abstract quality of the world around you. And Virgo is logic, reason, detail, over speculation, overthinking, keen observation, and dissects everything into reason. So Virgo has no quality whatsoever to appreciate the beauty, the art, the imagination, the abstract world. And Venus feels completely lost here, because now Venus is forced to over speculate into the abstract concepts where you have no logic, like love, like art, like beauty. You cannot define beauty with particular set of scientific parameters. It does not happen. Same thing with love. Venus cares about beauty and love. Venus cares about imagination. How can you define something with scientific particular parameters? That is what Virgo is. So Venus feels completely debilitated, lost, and weak in Virgo, because now it is forced to be in a sign where its qualities are not appreciated at all. So Venus feels debilitated there. Then one more point here is that Venus is responsible for creation. As I mentioned, Moon and Venus are responsible for creation, and Virgo is the zodiac sign of Brahmacharya. Brahmacharya means celibacy. It does not create. So Venus also feels debilitated because of that reason as well. Then Saturn. Saturn is debilitated in Aries. The same reason, because Saturn is the objective universe around you. And seventh house was the Prakriti, first house was the Purusha. Now seventh house is the place, means Libra, where Saturn is exalted. Similarly, first house is the place, Aries, where Saturn will lose its power, because now the object, what is the first house? Aries represent you, the subject. Saturn, the seventh house, and Libra represents the object around you. Now Saturn, which is the object, is forced to become the subject, which is impossible, illogical. It cannot happen at all, because subject can never become the object. And second thing, if the object is going to be in the subjective realm, what will happen? The world around you will eliminate. It will not exist. It will die, dissolve. Because if you are there, your awareness is there, then only the world around you is there. If you are not there, your awareness is not there, the world does not exist for you. So the thing here is that Saturn completely loses itself in Aries. Then Rahu is debilitated in Scorpio, because as I mentioned, Rahu is creation and ignorance and bringing the things into reality so that you forget your own nature. But Scorpio does not create. Same thing with Ketu. Ketu does not create, but it is forced to be in a sign of creation. So Scorpio is Rahu's debilitation sign, and Ketu is debilitated in Taurus. Now we will talk about the Mulatrikona zodiac signs. Sun is Sun's Mulatrikona zodiac sign is Leo. I explained, because Sun, in the first video I have explained, because fifth house is the place where Sun is creating the universe. So it feels in its own zone in Leo. Then Moon is in Taurus. Same reason. The reason which I explained for the exaltation of Moon, the same reason is for why Moon is Mulatrikona in Taurus. And Mulatrikona means a comfortable sign where the planet feels more comfortable as compared to the other zodiac sign which it controls. Like for example, Mars controls two zodiac signs, Aries and Scorpio, but its Mulatrikona zodiac signs means a more comfortable zodiac sign for itself. It will be Aries. The reason is simple, because Mars in the first house, Aries is the first zodiac sign, and first house is representing what? The Purusha which has been created. Mars is the symbolic representation of that. So Mars will naturally be Mulatrikona in Aries, not in Scorpio. Same thing in Mercury. Mercury's Mulatrikona zodiac sign is Virgo. The reason is same. What was there for the exaltation of Mercury in Virgo is the same reason for Mulatrikona. Then Jupiter. Jupiter is Mulatrikona in Sagittarius. Now Jupiter controls two zodiac signs, Sagittarius and Pisces, but its Mulatrikona zodiac sign will be Sagittarius. The reason is that Pisces shows absolute dissolution, means the absolute reality. It does not show the dual reality where we exist. It does not show the Maya. It does not show the material world around you. But the planets in their natural state will favor those situations where existence is possible, where the life is possible. That is the reason why we are talking about these things, because creation exists. So Jupiter will be naturally favoring Sagittarius as compared to Pisces, because in Pisces Jupiter is in a state of samadhi, in a state of moksha. It does not associate with the world at all. So in Sagittarius it has to exist in this world. So Sagittarius controls morals, ethics, values, principles, culture, tradition, and virtues, ideology, belief system, and your internal conscience. So this is very important, because after our ego, means our association with the body mind complex, our association with our conscience, our belief system, ideologies make our identity. So Jupiter plays a very vital role in Sagittarius to be in Mulatrikona zodiac sign. Next thing is Venus. Venus is Mulatrikona in Libra. The reason is same. Like for the Saturn, Libra means once creation has established, now the creation has to preserve, it has to sustain, it has to go on and evolve with period of time. How it is going to evolve? Because of the civilization which we have put down so far in over a period of time. So that is Libra. The Libra is the society, the world where you live, and which is evolving as well as preserving itself on its own. That is Libra. So Venus fields Mulatrikona in Libra. Then Saturn's zodiac sign, Mulatrikona zodiac sign is Aquarius, because Saturn and Aquarius both are Vayu, airy planets and air sign. I have explained this in the first video, that how the creation happens from the perspective of the elements. So first Akash is there, then Vayu, then Agni, then Jal, then Prithvi. So Saturn is that planet which is trying to what you can say limit the infinite. It is trying to capture the infinite reality. And how it is doing that? Because of the Vayu Tattva. See the first video, I have explained this there. Now the Rahu here is Mulatrikona in Virgo, and Ketu is Mulatrikona in Pisces. Okay, so these are the Mulatrikona zodiac signs for all the planets. Now the list of friend, enemy and neutral is also there. So Sun is friends with Moon, Mars, Jupiter. Enemy of Sun are Venus and Saturn. It is neutral to Mercury. Then Moon is friend of Moon are Sun and Mercury. Moon does not have any enemy. And neutral planets for Moon are Mars, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn. Then Mars, friend of Mars are Sun, Moon, Jupiter. Enemies are Saturn, Venus, Rahu. Mercury's friends are Sun, Venus, Saturn. And enemy is Moon. Then Jupiter is, friends of Jupiter are Sun, Moon, Mars. And enemies are Venus, Mercury, Rahu. Then here Venus, friends of Venus are Saturn, Mercury. Enemy are Sun and Moon. And then for Saturn, Venus, Mercury are friends. Sun and Moon are enemies. For Rahu, friends are Venus, Mercury, Saturn. Enemies are Sun and Moon. Sun and Moon and Jupiter. Sun and Moon and Jupiter. 3 planets are there. Then Ketu, friends of Ketu are, actually Ketu does not have any friend, but it behaves like Mars. So in specific situations, Mars can be termed as Ketu's friend, but it does not happen most of the time. So I have mentioned here that generally one planet which supports or can become a friend of Ketu, that is Mars. Other planets do not behave very well with Ketu. Then enemies of Ketu are Venus, Sun and Moon. Venus, Sun and Moon and Mercury. Four planets. Neutral to Rahu and Ketu are none. There are no planets which are neutral to Rahu and Ketu. So I have discussed here today in detail that what are the different zodiac signs of exaltation, debilitation, Mulatrikona, what are the friends and enemies of each and every planet. I hope you would have gathered clarity here why these particular zodiac signs are given to a particular planet for exaltation and debilitation and Mulatrikona in Jyotish. So that is all for today. In the next video, I am going to start Panchanga. Panchanga will be a series of 5 parts approximately, where we will talk about different limbs of time. Panchanga literally means limbs of time, 5 limbs of time, So time is divided into several categories, into different branches. In astrology, how it is studied, what are those particular angas? Angas means the parts. That we will start in the next video. If you are new to my channel, subscribe below. For more, check on my website and Facebook page and Instagram. Otherwise, we will meet in the next video. Till then, goodbye and thank you.